All right, evaluate 4 to the third power or 4 cubed. You can say it either way. So evaluate, again, if you didn't know what it meant, you just click on the word. In mathematics, to evaluate is to find the value of. So it's just asking you to perform this math operation here. So the exponent 3 tells us how many 4s to multiply. So if you didn't know what exponent meant, you click on exponent. Exponents can be used to rewrite certain multiplication problems. Here are some examples. So one of the ones I like to show is if you look at 2 to the 4th power. 2 is the base, 4 is the exponent. The exponent's always lifted. Sometimes you may see it written like this on a computer. I'm going to write it over here on my little board. So you may see it like this with a little caret and then 4 next to it. Well, what that means is whatever computer program they were using, they don't have the ability to actually write an exponent and make that the 4 little and raised up. So that caret is trying to tell you to make the 4 an exponent. Okay, and that's what it's called on the computer. It's just a caret. So I just want to show you that because that's something that comes up every once in a while on the computer. But anyway, 2 to the 4th power equals, and what I like about this one is it shows you how many 2's are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't mean 2 times 4. It means 2 4 times. So it means you write 2 down 4 times, and then you put a times symbol between each of them. So this is a lot like when we went from addition to multiplication. So when you were first learning addition, you might have had something along these lines where you had 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. I may have said plus 2 one too many times there. So this is about, I'm going to say maybe kindergarten or first grade level-ish as far as doing repeated addition. So once we get through repeated addition and you know, okay, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. Well, if you get too many of these, it starts to get a little tedious to write them out. So instead, we start teaching you that you can write 2 times 4 equals 8. So we taught you a way to write repeated addition. Well, this is how you write repeated multiplication. Instead of writing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, you can just write 2 to the 4th power. It means the same thing. It's just a way to write repeated multiplication. That is all an exponent is. Okay? So let's get out of dictionary here. Boop. So with this one, it's showing you 4 to the 3rd power, and they wrote down 4 3 times, and then they put a multiplication symbol between each one. So 4 times 4 gets you 16. 16 times 4 gets you 64. Be careful. The biggest mistake on this one I see students make is 4 times 3 is 12. That is not what an exponent means. It means 4 times 4 times 4. 4 3 times. I know that sounds very similar, but it's in the way you're saying it. 4 3 times, not 4 times 3. So the times is in a different place in that sentence, and it makes a huge difference when you're actually doing the calculation. All right, let's click start. All right, so for this one, which is ironically the one that we just looked at the example of, so we'll go ahead and write it out again. Whoops, I forgot to turn my pen on. All right, so we have 2 to the 4th power. Remember, that means 2 4 times. So I'm going to write 4 2's, and then there's a time symbol between each one. Because we are in IM1, or integrated math, I don't prefer the time symbol. That's what they were using on the example, so I went ahead and put it here. I do actually prefer using a dot, mainly because very, very quickly here, we're going to get out of this kind of the basic math of this, and we're going to get into algebra where we use variables. So this might look like 2x, 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 2, instead of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it's just one of my little pet peeves there about using that X symbol. All right, so don't want to draw that line. So when you're going through and doing the times on this one, and I'm going to get rid of these ones just so that we don't have too many sitting here in the field. You want to do them a little bit at a time here. So I always go like this. I go 2 times 2 and I get 4 times 2, I get 8. 8 times 2, I get 16. Just like that. And I can click check. And there we go. I also wanted to show you very quickly. I apologize, the screen's flipping around here. So here's a calculator, and this should look very similar to the calculator you have on your phone if you turn it sideways. If you turn it sideways and your phone does nothing, you need to look into, you probably have your screen locked so that it won't rotate when you turn it. So that might be it. Or your phone just may not have a graphic, or not a graphic calculator, a scientific calculator. So as long as you can see this, you can also do this on a calculator. So if I go 2, I can see there's a squared button right here. So x2 means that it's going to square the number for me. 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to hit clear. I can hit 2 again. If I wanted it to the third power, I would click this button. But there is no fourth power or anything above 2 or 3. Sometimes there's not even a 3. There's only the 2. But there should be this x to the y. What that means, you can click it, and then you have to tell it what your little number or exponent is. So in this case, it's 4. Make sure you hit equals. So there's your answer, 16. So I just wanted to show you this is also available on the calculator. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And okay, so with this one, 2 to the third power. And if I go to my eraser, I'm going to cheat a little bit because they actually gave us one where we don't have to do a whole lot of extra work. I have 2 to the fourth power here, but if I wanted to go to the third power, I could just erase the fourth 2 in the spot that's connected to it. Erase the 4 here. So I'm changing the last problem to a third power. I've already done the work for this. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. I already know what the answer is because I already did it in part of my last problem. All right, happy day. We got through that one also.